What's up, Rito? Shade Tree Surgeon here at Tampa Triumph with a pretty cool opportunity to do a little bit of a head-to-head back here between the BMW R19 and the Triumph Thruxton. Huge thanks to Tampa Triumph for letting me do this, and they just happen to have a BMW R9T here, so this is a comparison I really wanted to do, mostly just because even though on the surface these bikes look totally different, they're really similar. They're kind of both going after the same market, and they're similar bikes in so much as they're both twin-cylinder engines, they're both 1200 cc's, they're both sort of, you want to say vintage style bikes, sort of vintage bikes, but with modern components on them. So when you think about modern vintage bikes, a lot of times these are just bikes don't really have great suspension on them, they don't really have great brakes, they're just kind of, no, not quite as bad as stuff was in the 70s, but not exactly great either. So these things are vintage bikes with all the nice parts on them. They both got big old axial mounted Brembo brakes. They both have Öhlins suspensions. They both have different modes, traction control, just all the bells and whistles that you would expect on a brand new top of the line motorcycle, but with a vintage style. And also, let me tell you, both make quite a bit of power too. I think that the BMW is rated for just over 100, and so is the Triumph. I'm not sure on the exact figures, but let me tell you, I'll tell you how they feel when I get on them. How about that? Because numbers don't mean everything at all. Pretty much comes down to how the bike feels. So also, even though I've been on the 1200 Triumph Twin before, I've never ridden a brand new Thruxton, and I've never ridden a BMW R9T. So I'm going to be brand new to both these motorcycles. I just really wanted to do this because these bikes are so different, yet they are also exactly the same. I mean, it's really, do you like curly fries or do you like crinkle cut? Do you want that parallel twin or do you want the opposed twin? Do you want British or do you want German? And it's just, it's really cool. I think it's really cool that you have both these motorcycles with this vintage look and this vintage style, with both have top of the line suspension, brakes, and everything else that goes along with that. So enough yakking, let's see what they feel like. And of course, if you want to see somebody else's perspective on this that's not me, and I don't blame you, I can be pretty annoying, you can go over to Flip's channel, and I strong-armed him into riding these motorcycles with me, so you can get two perspectives for the price of one.
I want to rock, paper, scissors.
All right. Winner takes the Thruxton. Okay. 3, 2, 1, shoot. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Best 2 out of 3. It's not that I particularly want to ride the Thruxton first. I just don't like losing. German versus British. We're doing our own little like World War II reenactment here, you know? Yeah, I get to be the axis of evil. You get to be the good guys in this one, okay?
My intro, too.
Oh, Flip's got to do his intro.
As always, I end up trying to like it's suckered in a
Say what the damn motorcycles are, bud. You gonna do an intro?
BMW.
People want to know. This is a BMW R9T.
This is a BMW NR.
R9T. That's a Triumph Thruxton. Who cares what year it is? Let's just ride. Now, this isn't going to be like facts and figures, and this is exactly how much it weighs and how much horsepower it makes and what the rake and trail is. What I like to do is basically we fly by the seat of our pants. We shoot from the hip, baby.
My videos for my information. You watch my videos and watch me give you a hard time.
People watch your videos because they feel sorry for you, Flip. Don't forget to put your kickstand up, bud. There you go. That's not the button. All right, there you go. You sure you got this? You got this? That's a really expensive bike, buddy. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Whatever you do, don't freak out. That bike is super expensive. All right, now I've been on BMWs before, but never the R9T. Woo. All right, it moves. I like it. It's got a beat and I can dance to it. So let's make Flip feel real uncomfortable on that brand new bike and ride down the side. He's probably sweating bullets right now. Ooh, I like her. So this is basically last year's Boxer engine. So this was before the 1250, this was the old engine that was in the BMW GS and everything like that, I think. Don't quote me on that, and that's kind of what the Japanese manufacturers do with their naked bikes, is they just put old sport bike engines in them. It's got that opposed twin force where it's just this big flat push right off the bottom that I really like. And of course it's got that horizontally opposed engine. That flat twin has got a very, very distinctive feel when you rev it up that really it doesn't feel like anything else. Plenty of power in top gear. I always really like to see that, is when you're in top gear and you can still just roll on and get some decent acceleration, which is why I like twins over 4 cylinders. Uh-oh, all right, Flip. We're not gonna drag race because that would be illegal. I wonder which one is faster though. They're both the same size. They both make really similar horsepower. These bikes are almost identical, man. It would be, of course I haven't ridden the Thruxton yet, so I don't know how that's gonna feel. I will say, like, the bars on this BMW feel a little cheap. Like the grips feel a little kind of cheap, but I don't know, man. I mean, I've ridden other BMWs with these grips. That's just how they feel. Maybe I'm just used to 1-inch bars on the Harley lately. Going down from 1-inch bars to 7/8, sometimes it feels a little chintzy in comparison. It's fast, huh?
Fun.
You like it?
Yes, I love it.
Oh no, it's a brand new bike. What's not to love? You would have a hard time getting tired of that power. Suspension on the bumps, a bit stiff, but it's got really sporty suspension on that. I mean, nowhere near as stiff as a sport bike, but a little more stiff than I'm used to riding around on my big old road couch, the Road King. One of the other things I really like about twins, and this Boxer twin especially, is that, you know, it gets perfectly capable of ripping it up, but it feels very comfortable just putting along, and you're not asking it to do too much or do anything crazy. You're just kind of riding, hanging out on your BMW R nineT. Because a lot of times with sportier bikes or inline 4 cylinders, I'm very biased. I like twins. I'm a very big twin fan, or triple. I'm just not a big 4-cylinder fan. Not my cup of tea. But twins, they're capable of hauling ass. They just don't ever make it feel like you have to. All right, let's switch her up and see how it feels. Back-to-back comparison. Jumping off. We're not even going to turn them off. Don't even turn it off. Jumping directly off the R nineT and hopping directly on the Triumph Thruxton. Get what? Back to back, from Luftwaffe to RAF, from Fokker to Spitfire. Let's see how she does. I will tell you, I think one of the biggest differences, just looking at them side by side, is even though this is sort of more of a vintage style bike, a little bit, I mean, it's more of a naked too. So that engine looks pretty high tech, even though it's a Boxer twin, which just the fact that it is a Boxer makes it look old school. But if you're looking for like vintage cred, you want your bike to look old and different, I think that the Thruxton's probably got the BMW there. But let's see if it's got it anywhere else.
I've never ridden a BMW before, so.
You never ridden a BMW? It's a motorcycle.
No shit.
Yeah, it goes like that. Well, I'll tell you immediately, I prefer the seating position of the BMW to the Thruxton, but to say the least, I don't exactly have the figure for clip-ons and rear sets. More of a husky size, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
Yeah, it's crazy how 2 different twin-cylinder engines can feel so different. Whereas the BMW definitely feels more mechanical in the way that it accelerates. It almost is like bump, 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 bump,
like back and forth, which, you know, of course it's got that horizontal engine, so of course it feels like that. And the Thruxton just, it doesn't feel as mechanical and wonky as the BMW. And wonky is the wrong word, because it's not like the BMW feels bad. It's just, again, I said, just crazy how two different twin-cylinder motorcycles can accelerate. Woo! Goes fast, does wheelies, and stops good. Accidental wheelies, by the way. It is hard to tell which one's faster. I will tell you, it might just be the seating position, but just from that acceleration right there, I might have to give it to the Thruxton. I think that this bike is faster. I don't know if it might just feel faster because it's got a little bit of an aggressive seating position, but I don't know, man. That's why I don't like looking at actual horsepower numbers, because actual horsepower numbers and what something feels like and performs on the street like are often two different things. And that's why I really don't talk about horsepower and facts and figures and this is how a bike, but this is how it stacks up on a spreadsheet. Like, come on, man. Now, there's plenty enough other channels that do that. You don't need to hear it from me too. I like to tell you how a bike makes me feel. And this one just definitely makes me feel racier. Not that I look racy on this bike. I probably look like 10 pounds of shit stacked on a toothpick. This bike makes me feel like, oh, I definitely want to go faster. Whereas you get on that BMW and I just said, yeah, it feels like you can just putt around. This one, I'm like, oh, I want to go, dude. I want to do hood rat things with my friends on this motorcycle. Oh, definitely some stiffer suspension on this one too. I guess that maybe that means it's better for cornering. I don't know, but I'm feeling them potholes a little bit more on the Thruxton than I am the BMW. I gotta tell you, dude, the Thruxton compared to the BMW just feels like trouble. It feels like you're gonna get a ticket on this thing. The BMW is incredibly well behaved compared to this. This is hooligan stuff right here. Even if they're almost exactly identical, man, I don't know. It's just something about the way it feels makes me feel like I want to do something real, real bad. And I like that. Oh. Yeah, that front end comes up without trying, by the way. I think that this has got it. I think the Triumph is going to beat the BMW in this category, at least. Like, BMW definitely makes faster bikes than the Thruxton. They make the S1000 R, and I think they actually make a new one, like a 1250 HP2 or something, that's probably faster than the Thruxton. But as far as the R9T platform is concerned, I think I got to give it to the English on this one. I'll also give it to Triumph as far as like the looks and the fit and finish go. This just feels nicer than the BMW does. Of course, once again, this is Triumph's top-of-the-line modern classic. Their top-of-the-line bike you can get with the parallel engine, while the BMW R nineT is not the top-of-the-line bike for BMW by a long shot. So it just makes sense that the fit and finish and everything on this bike feels a lot nicer than the BMW does. What do you think, man?
Extremely strange vehicle.
Yeah, BMWs are odd, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm probably going to get crap in the comment section because everyone knows that I'm a Triumph fanboy, even though for some reason everyone keeps saying I'm a Harley fanboy. I don't really know. I just like motorcycles. I don't really care. Like, yeah, I like Triumphs, but if the BMW was better, I would say so. This Thruxton, I think, is a better motorcycle than the BMW R9T. It's probably more expensive too, but it is definitely a markedly better bike. Although, I guess it depends on what you're going to do, man. If you're not trying to do hood rat stuff and you want to just kind of putt around and be a little more calm, but still have the capability to haul ass, that may be the BMW is for you. But Thruxton, definitely the more aggressive of the two, where you just don't feel like this bike really wants to putt and be polite. This thing wants you to do bad stuff. Oh yeah. I'd probably get into trouble on this motorcycle. It's funny to say about a parallel twin Triumph modern classic that you could say like, yeah, this is a hooligan machine. I would get into trouble on this bike. It's definitely true. So, I mean, I think a better bike for me, I've never ridden one yet, than this would be the Speed Twin. So I feel like the Speed Twin is basically all this kind of same stuff, but with a little more relaxed seating position. All right, that was fun. But before I start getting tickets on a bike that I don't own, maybe it's time to go ahead and pack this one up.
All right, guys, that was it. The Triumph Thruxton versus the BMW R9T. And I'm sure I'll catch a bunch of flack for saying I like the Thruxton more because I'm standing in a Triumph dealership. And everyone's going to be like, well, yeah, of course you like the Thruxton more. Of course you like the Thruxton more. Well, guess what? Flip liked it more. And my man over here, KJ, has always assured me, say how you really feel, say what you think. They never ask me to say anything. They don't even ask me to do these videos, by the way. I'm not getting paid for this in any way. I ask them if I can come do these videos, and that's the way I like it, because I don't want to have to be biased. I like to say how I feel, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah, you can slow down on that, by the way. Take it down a couple notches.
On what?
Saying how you feel. Nobody's interested.
Yeah.
Take it down a notch.
Here's the whole thing. Everyone says I don't want to hear everyone else's opinions, but that's bullcrap. People love to hear other people's opinions. Like, what are you talking about? They only say that when they don't like the opinion. They're like, oh, opinion, everybody's got one. Yeah, when you don't like it. When you agree with that opinion, all of a sudden it sounds pretty darn good, doesn't it? There's a sociology lesson in there somewhere. Anyway, huge thanks to the guys at Tampa Triumph. We had a good time. Both great bikes, but if for my money, I would probably go with the Thruxton, just because it makes me feel some kind of way. And the BMW was nice too, but I don't know, man. I gotta make a decision. I can only pick one, right? But if I had all the money in the world, I'd pick them all. All right, guys, till next time, don't forget to leave a like in this video, share it with somebody who might hate me. I love pissing people off. Until next time, keep it weird.